Hey, what's going on, everybody? I just want to make this video to just kind of do a rundown of the way that the menus work in Once Human. I've been playing the beta for a good amount of time. I think I'm like level 23, 24. And there are definitely things that I was not aware of when I first started playing that now I kind of understand better when it comes to the menu system. And we'll kind of get into that in a moment. So I'm going to go over everything from your backpack, your gear, to how to look at your tasks and your quests and your achievements, all that sort of stuff. We'll also take a look at the shop in the game so that you guys can know how to purchase emotes and all that sort of fun stuff. And then we'll also just kind of cover briefly sort of the HUD here that we're seeing. So we'll kind of do that at the end, but hopefully this video does help you out. Like I said, it did take me a little bit of time to even understand these things. So if you do find this video helpful, definitely leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It does help me out, helps that algorithm. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Now, I am in the beta right now, so these things are obviously subject to change. But I imagine a lot of this is going to be similar to the retail release. It might just look a little bit different, but as far as the way it works, I can't imagine that's changing too much. So I'm on PC here, so I'm going to just hit the letter K. So what this is going to do is this is going to actually open up, my gear right here, and my backpack, and we'll kind of go over each of these tabs here. So first off, you have your backpack. So your backpack essentially is broken up into different categories. There's not a category here that will show all items in your backpack. I kind of wish that there was, but this is the way that it essentially works. So the first section here, you have tools. So these are things like tactical equipment, or your pickaxes, fishing rod, ammo goes here. Anything that you're going to really be like using out in the world is something that's going to be in the tools tab of your backpack. Next up, we have consumables here. So this will be things like food or, different consumables that apply different effects to you. Like, for example, a really popular one is one called Wings. I don't actually have it on me right now, but essentially it gives you a glider for 2 hours at a time. So every time you use it, you get 2 hours of use for a glider. So that's something that would be in the consumables here. You can also see like things like bait, your healing, for your activator. It's all under this consumable tab. Next up here, you have materials. So mine's pretty empty right now because I just deposited a bunch of it. But this is where when you go mining and you get things like copper or iron or aluminum, whatever it is, it's all going to show up here. Even when you go and smelt it, that's going to show up here as well. And then really anything that you're looting in the world, fans or whatever it is, all that junk that you loot in the world that you can disassemble, all that sort of stuff is going to show up in your materials right here. And then the third tab here is special. So these are things that are probably more related to quests that you're doing. You can also pick up recipes here and you can learn new recipes. So there's a few different things here that, you're going to use for certain quests or use to access certain doors. You can see there's a good amount of access cards here. Then you have your Stardust source. So this is actually like a currency that you use in game to help craft things. So that'll also be here. Basically, special kind of covers a lot of different things, but that's where all that sort of stuff is going to be. And then your last tab here is going to be your deviations. So I have 3 of the same one right now, but your deviations are essentially your kind of like your pets at your base that provide you with, as long as you keep them happy, almost like a Tamagotchi, for those of you who remember those, it'll basically give you different resources that you might need to craft other items. So as long as you're keeping your pet happy, you can go ahead and kind of collect those resources every now and then. So that's where all these deviations, these sort of pets, quote unquote, are going to be in that tab. So that's everything for your backpack. You also have your weight right here. Honestly, in the beta, I haven't even gotten close to 100% weight. A lot of these things are really light. Everything that you're kind of holding is pretty light. You can see, I got some food here. This is like 0.5. It's definitely nothing that's going to be really loading up your backpack here. Then you do have your hotbar on the bottom. So obviously you're able to drag anything that you want from your backpack to your hotbar. The hotbar does work a little bit differently in this game than some other games that I've seen. And we'll talk about the HUD kind of at the end, and that'll kind of include some of that hotbar stuff. So let's move on to the gear section here. So gear, this is where obviously you're going to see your weapons, your primary and your secondary, as well as your melee weapon, and then you have all your gear here. So everything from your head to your toes, and then this is also where your stats are. So you can hit C on the keyboard, and it will actually give you some more detailed stats of kind of where you are right now. And then you can obviously remove that and just kind of get the higher level stats right here. So everything under your weapons, like let's say you left click on your weapon here, this is going to allow you to choose a different weapon to go into your primary spot. So if I wanted this LMG instead, I could just hit F on it, and now that's equipped to that primary spot right there. I'm going to keep my sniper up there though because I like it. And then you can just move over to your secondary slot right here. It works exactly the same way, where you can just go ahead and equip a different item in your secondary slot if you would like to. And then finally, you have your melee weapon, which I don't have any other ones right now, but you can obviously swap those out in the same way. Now, when it comes to modifying your guns, things like adding attachments or mods, you can access that from right out here. You don't actually have to click into your weapons to access that. So left clicking gets you to where we just were, but right clicking is what's going to get you to this attachment screen. So this is where you're able to put on, I have a suppressor on my sniper here, different optics, every gun kind of has different setups. And then this is also where you're going to be setting up your different ammo types. So if you have, there's different tiers of ammo, essentially. You can see kind of, there's the green, blue, and then purple, and then kind of your common ammo right here. So this is where you're going to actually swap your ammo types. So if you create a better ammo type, let's say a blue one here, that's where you're going to actually equip it in this weapon menu, which is something a little bit different from some other games that I've played. So I figured it was worth calling out. And then you also have a mods tab here where you can attach one mod. I haven't found a gun that can take 2 mods, but I'm sure that they're out there. So you can just click on this, you can hover over it, and you can see what kind of mods or what the mod will do. So you have a core effect of the mod, and this isn't a video about mods. We won't get too into this, but you have a core effect for your mod, and then you have random attributes that get added, but those random attributes will need you to have a certain tiered weapon in order to actually apply that attribute. So you can see right here, I have a tier 2 sniper. I do not have a tier 3 sniper. So that tier 3 attribute is not going to be applied to my weapon, but the tier 2 one will. So that's kind of how that works. And that works for all these different weapons. Every weapon can have mods and attachments on it. Even your melee weapon, you can't have attachments on it, but you can have mods. So I should probably actually apply this mod right now. And yeah, that's everything basically for your weapons. When it comes to your actual gear, it works the same way, where if you want to left click on it, this is where you can swap out different gear. And if you right click on it, this is where you can add your mods for all your different gear items here. So that's essentially how the gear tab works. There are 2 kind of sub tabs under here as well. There's a fashion tab. So this allows you to unlock fashion items that just cosmetically change you. So I have this on my top right here, the Vulture Elite fashion item right here. But this actually isn't changing the effect that my actual top has. So this chest piece that I have right here is really the thing that I'm wearing. It just looks different. So it's kind of cool. They have a fashion tab here that allows you to obviously change up the way your character looks without kind of changing the effects and the durability and everything with your armor. It doesn't change. It's just the way it looks. And then over here you have your expression tab. So this is where you're going to set different emotes, and we'll get into how you can purchase emotes later in the video. But that is that's where you can kind of apply some of these emotes. And that's everything for the gear tab here. Let's move on to the Cradle. So the Cradle works in really 2 different ways. On the left side is going to be a little bit more familiar to you. So it's memetics. I call it the meme points, though. I'm sure that's not what you're supposed to call it, but it's the meme points. So if you click on the left side here, you're going to get this skill tree. Now, the skill tree is broken up into different categories, similar to the way your backpack is. So what you can do is click on any of these items. So let's say I click on this. It'll tell you how many ciphers or meme points, look, it even says it right there, you need to unlock this, as well as how many energy links you need to unlock it. So in order to get these sort of things, you just have to level up your character and do activities in the world. So you can see you explore the map or complete daily tasks to obtain energy links, or for meme points, you just level up your character to get more meme points. So you'll see your total up in the top right here, so you'll know how much you have and how much you have to play with. So there's different categories here. Make sure that you're clicking on these because it does not scroll down. These other categories are to the right. So the first two here are territory construction and facilities. But if I click on this one, you'll see facilities and tactical supplies. Go over here, tactical supplies and fortification. And then the last one is logistics. So make sure you're clicking through these. A buddy of mine did not know you could click through them right in the beginning, so make sure you're doing that. There also is a search down here. I haven't actually been able to get this to work. Maybe that's a beta issue, but I've searched for specific names of things and it has not found them. It doesn't even really seem like it is searching, but hopefully that does work in the retail version of the game because that'll be super helpful. And that's essentially this sort of meme point skill tree part of the menus. That's basically it. And then you have this other section here. So the Cradle has two parts, like I said, the meme points and then the Cradle itself. So if you click into the Cradle itself, you'll see that there are basically just different kind of almost like perks in a way that you can apply here. So these are unlocked as you progress through the game. So I've collected 3 deviations, right? So the more deviations you're going to collect, the more of those pets, those kind of Tamagotchi sort of things that you get, the more slots are going to open. So I actually have an open slot right here. So what I can do is each section here, you can only apply one of these. So I couldn't apply an SMG damage boost and a crossbow damage boost. I just have to choose one. So I already have the SMG one there. I've got the sniper rifle one there. These are the main 2 weapons I use. So let's check out what are some of the other ones here. Let's see. I'm not going to go like too into this, but this is starting to get more interesting because it's not really weapon related for these. It's just these are like effects that happen. So I'm going to just equip this, and now that's going to be over there. So now these are kind of like these passive perks, essentially, that you have for your Cradle. So that's everything with the Cradle. You got your normal skill tree on the left, and then you kind of have these perks, these passive perks you can apply on the right. The blueprints section of the menu here is broken up into 2 different sections, weapon blueprints and armor blueprints. So the way that the game works is you find fragments of blueprints as you're exploring and doing activities. And once you have enough fragments of a particular blueprint, you can craft that blueprint, allowing you to now craft it at a crafting station. So you're really there's 2 steps of really getting a weapon. You have to get the blueprint completed for the weapon, and then you actually have to go craft the weapon. So you can see weapon blueprints here. And this is something that like the game didn't fully explain and something that we just had to figure out. But you'll see this puzzle piece in the top right here. So when this puzzle piece is yellow, that means that you can actually fuse those blueprints together and create that blueprint. So I don't have any that are available right now. You can see that I don't have any yellow ones here. But that's how you'll know that a blueprint is ready. You can see the fuse option right here is grayed out. So if that was yellow, it would not be grayed out anymore. Same goes for armor. I don't have any that I can craft right now, but that's exactly how it works for armor as well. You have all these different categories. Actually, it looks like I do have some armor here. So this is the scout set. So let me fuse this. And now we have unlocked the scout blueprint. So there we go. I didn't even realize I had that. And this is what I mean is like you have to literally click through all these tabs in the game to see what you can like unlock. So we got that scout set. We got this one. We got some grow gloves. These are purple gloves. We'll have to definitely try to make those. So let me go look through my weapons here. So these are all weapons. Armor, you don't have all here. So you have to click through each one. Anyway, that's how the blueprint section works. And then lastly here, we have the mods section. So we kind of already covered mods, but if you want to see all your mods in one place, you can easily go do that, and you can check out how many assault rifle mods you have, or sniper rifle, or whatever you want to do here. This is also where you can just kind of like examine which mods are better rather than going to the weapon itself. You can just kind of get an overall look. Same goes for armor mods here. You can see which ones you have equipped. Kind of click through all these and see which ones are better than others. So pretty self-explanatory for the mods section. And then if you dismantle mods, you can actually get resources up on the top right to upgrade your armor or your weapon mods, which is really cool. So you can actually upgrade your mods. So if I right click on a mod right here, this is something I actually really haven't done too much of before. I just know it's possible. You can actually consume a certain amount of tokens to upgrade your mod and choose a different perk for that mod. So if I want plus 6% drawing speed, or I prefer plus 6% weak spot damage, I can choose that one, or I can choose this one. So it's definitely really interesting that you can kind of upgrade mods as you play. So that's everything when it comes to really the backpack menus. Now let's get into the tasks, the quests, the maps. How do you know what to do in the game? You can see I have two kind of tasks up in the top left here. So let me explain kind of what that is. So if I hit M, you'll go to the map right here. And obviously, this is your standard map where you're going to see all these different activities and things going on, events and quests, all that sort of stuff. So that's pretty straightforward on the map itself. You can filter things on the map. If you hit X, you can go ahead and filter any specific type of event that you're looking for. There doesn't seem to be a search for the map. That would be nice if there was a little search similar to the skill tree. And then you can also, this is something else that you can do on the map. You can either right click to just place a waypoint anywhere you would like to. If there's a specific place you want to go to, you can just right click on that icon and it'll leave your waypoint here, but it will now show you this while you're kind of walking around. So if I just look around right there, you can see 1.7 kilometers away, that's that town that I just marked on the map, which is really cool. So it kind of gives you multiple ways to kind of mark things, and you can also place a pin. So if there's something here that somewhere here that you want to go back to, you can just middle click, you can choose a pin icon, you can edit the name, test name, and then you can just drop it right there. And now when you hover over it, you have a little, a reminder that you want to go there. So it's really cool. There's kind of 3 ways to mark things on the map. They make it really easy, flexible to do multiple things at once, which is really nice. So let's go to the task tab here. This is where you're going to be getting your daily tasks, your main quest, any other kind of side quest that you get. They're all going to be right here. They're all going to be showing you how far away they are from your current position, which is really nice, what level they're going to be. Or what level that mission is. So yeah, you can kind of just, this is pretty self-explanatory, pretty straightforward, not too much confusion here. You can go ahead and kind of filter it a little bit more if you want to, but I usually just look at all my tasks. And then if you want to track a specific task, you can only track one task at a time. So if I hit space on this, it'll start tracking this. This is the Dayton Hospital one, so you can see now in the top left, I have the Dayton Hospital task that I am trying to complete right now. So let's hop back into tasks, and that's basically everything for the tasks. Now the journey tab, that is going to be really just like, almost think of this as like a battle pass in a way, but it's not like a paid battle pass. It's just kind of things that you do in the world that you can get rewards for, which is really nice. So let's just look at a few for, just as an example. So there's this electrician one right here. And all it had me do is like build a biomass energy generator. So a power generator at my base, add fuel to the generator, attach a wire to any facility, that's attached to the generator. So things like that, it's everything from cooking to building to exploring to farming, to doing stuff with your hive, which is like your group, almost like your guild kind of in a way, or like fire team. So that's everything in the journey tab here. And then you also have season goals. So this is kind of more on the battle pass side of things, but it is still related to like the journey goals. So if you click on any of these, you can see, use a crossbow to defeat an enemy 40 meters away, all these sort of things. And each one of these has different rewards that you can claim. So you can see right now, I actually have craft a tier 3 weapon. I did that. So I'm going to get Starcrom for this, which is what you can use in the shop. So you can actually earn the currency, at least in the beta, you can earn the currency that you use in the shop in game, which is really cool. So I'm going to just claim this right here. I got 250 Starcrom, which is different from energy links. Energy links are used for crafting and for your skills. Starcrom is used for there's a something called the wish machine in the game, which is a whole different kind of topic, and then also for the shop. So we'll talk about the shop soon. And then in the journey section, this is something I learned today. I don't even joke about this. Like I learned this today. I'm already level 24. So if I click on this, not only do you get rewards. Like let's say for right here, this Motorhead one, right? I crafted an upgraded part at the garage. I did all this. So I claim these rewards in the bottom right here. These were the rewards that I got. Those are the rewards that I thought I only got. But no, you can literally click on each of these items and you get rewards for every single part of that journey. So this journey technically has 4 rewards to it. Every single one, like look at all these. I did not claim any of these. So just please do this in your journey section. I'm going to be going through after this video is done recording. I'm going to go through and click all of these because this is just ridiculous that I didn't know that. So that's how the journey and the season goals work. You can go ahead and you can track specific journeys if you would like to, I believe. So if you click on like any of these, if I want to track this, build an Echo Stone Purifier, if I go back, now you'll see that Dayton Hospital task is there, as well as the journey task is up in the top left. So you can have 2 of those at one time, which is really nice. So you can try to complete multiple things at once. And yeah, that's pretty much everything for the journey tab. So the achievements tab, this is really straightforward. You don't get rewards, as far as I know, from getting any of these achievements. It's just really, you might unlock like a title or something like that. The only one I've unlocked so far is this road racer one for riding a motorcycle a certain amount of distance. But actually, I didn't claim any rewards from this. It might have just been XP. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it might have just been XP. So that's basically how the achievements work. And then collections, this is just lore that you can find in the world. So if I click on this, you'll see there's like different notes and things like that for like lore in the world. So I'm not super into the lore, but if you're into the lore, that'll be a tab you'll definitely want to check out. And then there's also a survival manual, which is really cool. So if you go to the collections tab and you hit D, so I'm sliding over to that next section there, there's a survival manual. So this shows you a bunch of things about the game, which is really awesome. So if you have any questions, it's pretty high level, but at least it kind of gives you an idea of how things work in the game. So I think this is great for new players. So definitely check this out. And that's pretty much it for like all the menus. We have like the backpack sort of menu and backpacking gear. We have like your tasks and like how to set quests and all that sort of stuff. But now let's check out the emote shop. We talked about getting that Starcrom currency for the emote shop. If we hit escape here, there's a shop tab. And so this is where you're actually able to spend those Starcroms, which is really cool. So for like your fashion or emotes, all of the microtransactions from what we've been told will just be cosmetic in the game. So this is where you're going to be able to buy them. You can see I have 1,500 up here. So I could really get any of this if I want to get, look, there's an Angry Birds hoodie here. Which is kind of cool. That would be fun to get. There's a few cool things in here. And then if you scroll down, you'll see all these different emotes. They give you a nice little preview of it, which is really cool. So yeah, that's how you use the shop in the game. This is something I also recently found out. I was unaware. It was kind of in the, if you hit escape, it's in this section here. But yeah, so that's essentially how that works. Also in the escape tab here, you can see, so there's some tips as well, for survival and equipment. This actually just brings you to your menu, so I don't know what I'm talking about there. Anyway, the last thing I want to talk about here is the HUD for the game and kind of how that works. So there's really, a few different parts of this. In the bottom left here, you can see the chat. So if I hit enter, there's a few different chats you can go through. So you have your friends section here, which is where you can add friends. You have your mail, so that's something you can collect every day for daily login rewards or whatever that might be. You have to go to a mailbox for that, though. I don't think you can just do that right here. You have like notifications, maybe from the game. You have your settings here, which aren't in the beta right now, but these will be voice settings. And then all these different chats you have, similar to like a lot of MMOs, right? You have like a region chat nearby. Warband is kind of your guild. That's really the guild. The Hive is kind of your fire team, so a smaller group. You have your team, so this is just your like party, your current party that you're in. And then system is going to be obviously like system messages for the server or whatever that might be. So that's everything kind of in the bottom left there. If you hit F5, I know it says F5, that's going to be for like toggling your mic on and off. The VoIP isn't working in the game right now, but that's what you would do there. And then let's just hop into the backpack, because the backpack is going to have kind of the rest of the HUD that we need. So in the bottom center, when you're normally playing, this is what's going to be there. So you have your stamina, you have your sanity. So that is something that is just an effect that happens in the world that will reduce the amount of total health you have. So you always kind of need to keep things on you that are fixing your sanity or restoring your sanity. So you can see I have, it says current max HP reduction is 0%, but that'll go up as you like explore the world. And you have to take these things like sanity gummies, or there's different types of food that can help your sanity as well. And then you have your hydration, and you have your energy right here. So this is like food and water, essentially. And then you can see the different effects that you have for the different stages of your hydration, different effects for the different levels of energy. And then right here, you can see there's a little buff I have for a 15% increase in crafting speed. This is also where if any of your gear breaks, you'll see an icon right here. And that'll also be next to your health. And then right here, we have your prime energy for your weapon. So every weapon that you have kind of has this ability to get supercharged. So that's what this bar is indicating there. And then you have your health. The white bar is just your health right there. So that's pretty much everything for that part of the HUD. But in the bottom right, you'll notice what's a little bit different is the hotbar does not start with the number 1. So it starts with the number 4, and that's because right above the hotbar, you kind of have your first three sections of the hotbar, I guess you could say. So you have your primary weapon, you have your melee weapon, and then you have your secondary weapon right here, which I clearly need ammo for. So you just use the scroll wheel to go between these. I believe you can hit 1, 2, and 3 as well on your keyboard to go between them. But that is something that's just a little bit of adjustment for me, because I'm used to seeing kind of the entire hotbar. So it works a little bit differently there. And then in the top right, kind of the final part of the HUD, you have obviously your mini map. You have the time of day in game. And then you also have the world that you're a part of. So the way that this game works with worlds and with servers is that you choose a server, and there are multiple worlds underneath that server. So if you're having trouble like figuring out where your friends are in a game, you might be on the same server, but just a different world. So in order to change that world, you can go to any of these teleportation towers, and they will allow you to change your world to another world, I think, as long as it's not full. And then you also just have your ping in the top right. So that's pretty much everything when it comes to the menus for Once Human, at least in the beta. I hope this video really did help you out. And if it did, like I said, please like and subscribe and follow along, do whatever to help the algorithm. It really would make a big change for the channel. And if you want to catch me live at any point, I've been playing a lot of this live. Definitely go to my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/MattyGorm. I'd love to see you over there. And if you have any questions about the game, I'm happy to help answer. Just please drop a comment down below. But thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.